What's up, guys, and welcome back to the TG Faction War, where today we're just gonna hop through as many rounds as we possibly can. I think we're in, well, this is embarrassing, I don't even know what round we're in. Round 26, and I should be able to get through like 4 or more rounds today, hopefully. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it with some base game matchups being Medieval versus Pirates. So all the squires are down. It's gonna come down to pretty much the queens, and it's gonna come down to the queens versus the kings and the siege units, because those are like the only things that are gonna be putting up really hard fights. We've already got 3 of the kings down. Most of the one queen has died. There goes 2. I think pirates have won this. Yeah, they have. Let's do game 2, shall we? Game 2. Something just went flying, and I don't know what. I might do another like standard 16-person tournament today as well, possibly, maybe. I might also merge the 2 1v1 leagues into a single league eventually, with like exceptions and stuff put in place. But Medieval Faction won the second match, meaning we do have to go on to a third match. You know, it's entirely fine. I have like 3 hours today in order to do this, and maybe more later. Actually, I definitely won't have more time later, but we still have time to do this right now. So this is a stomp for the pirate faction. They've won very, very, very clearly. Next up, historical versus spooky, and now the Reaper and well the pumpkin catapults could have ruined everything if they were still alive, but unfortunately the pumpkin catapults are not alive, meaning that this was not going to go well for the spooky faction. But what if the pumpkin catapults were placed, say, here, and actually able to do a lot more? Well, they still didn't really do anything, because they very easily could have turned everything around for spooky faction. Well, they are especially not going to turn everything around if they miss. The Reapers could, because they could one-shot pretty much everything that the historical faction brought, but it just wasn't enough. Next up is going to be Wild West versus the Ancient faction. Now, these Minotaurs could pretty much ruin most things for the Wild West faction, taking out all the big range units. But in the meantime, the fact that the Ballista isn't the best siege unit means that all the normal units for the Wild West have kind of just run train on the Ancient faction. Poor Ancient faction. Next up is going to be the Vikings versus the Dynasty begin. Now, I don't even know what this really comes down to. I mean, it definitely comes down to the Jarls for the Viking faction, but I mean, the dragons are down, that's an issue. The Hwatches are... one Hwatches up, that's an issue for the Jarls. It's like, you know... there isn't much left for the Dynasty faction. Only this one Hwacha. Good attempt. Let's try battle. Let's try round 2. See if anything changes there. It could. It definitely could, with how just easily they could turn things around. There's a Monkey King still up and running. Yeah, like I said, it could easily go both ways, thanks to, well, dragons and the Hwacha being able to just wipe out most of the Viking faction front line. Game 3. One dragon's still up, and it's not up anymore. That's an issue. Both Hwachas are up. They didn't get rid of any of them at all, so that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, like I said, problem. This is gonna be fairly close because, I mean, they do have a fast reload speed, but it's not gonna be fast enough. Tribal versus the Renaissance is our next matchup. And, well, we'll see if, well, by the end of these next 4 rounds, we'll see if any faction still remains all defeated. It's pretty much going to come down to these mammoths and, well, whatever backup they have against the Da Vinci tank. I mean, it's not even going to just come down to that. It is that. So these 2 spear throwers versus the Da Vinci tank is all that remains. And the Da Vinci tank manages to pull through. Next up, the Farmer faction is going to try and challenge the Light faction. Jesus. Okay, there we go. So there are just a lot of units from the Farmer faction. They might actually be able to indeed overwhelm the Light faction. It's possible, although unlikely. I mean, there's 1 Divine Arbiter left. There's a whole bunch of crows up. Oh, they so could have won that. Game 2. Game 2. We have to. Because if the crows got to those Chronomancers, they would have died. It all comes down to the Scarecrow. No, they've lost again. Okay. Well, Light faction gets another dub. Now, normally I wouldn't do a matchup like this because, well, I mean, just look at our size. They look very, very dumb. But it's Evertail versus the Dark faction. And we'll see if Evertail can actually win with only 4 units. Pretty much only Dragon Slayer Shauna. I really don't think they're going to do this. I have very little faith in them doing this one. Although it is just the Void Monarch left. And who knows, they might kill him. It's 1 left, 1v1. Oh my gosh, he actually did. Okay, well, moving on. So for 9,000, they can only afford 7 units. So maybe this might go well for a gaming server. It's gaming server versus Ultra Cabin, by the way. Javen versus, well, Tree, and well, Tree is gone. I don't even think he got on the map. There we go. Tree is on the map. The Tree is here, and, well, ready to start, well, slamming Ultra Cabin. Yeah, there goes Luke, there goes Javen, and Giflet. How are you doing over there? Not good, I would assume. Oh, the Tree's gonna go down. I mean, she just has so much health right now. Chi down, Gray down, so the big damaging Tree is dead. Can Giflet single-handedly pull this back? I don't think so, because, I mean, Zayden's flying around rather than on the ground, and, like, can't be hit by most of her attacks. Not even that really works. Only 2 of them. Go on. Yeah, he's won. Next up is going to be Other Games versus Elements. Other Games can't really afford anything. They got Sakya and BCM, and that's kind of it. That's really all they have. I mean, even then, it's still looking to be working out fairly well. They've gotten Wind Warlord down, Lava Lord's really low, Lava Lord's now dead. I mean, if she can take out the Thunderzar, it's very plausible that they win this, but she didn't. And unless Master Ruby can actually kill the Ice King, if Master Ruby can't kill the Ice King, then they've like definitely lost. Oh, they didn't need to. Well, they didn't need to have him kill the. How? What killed the Thunderzar? I looked away. So I'm pretty sure Ice King just wins that matchup. Anyway, let's move on to a bigger match. Round 2. Other Games has brought in everyone with Siren Head, and so Elements has gone to equalize the cost. There is so much fire and ice all over the screen that I can't tell what's happening underneath it. Jenny Fox is really low. Asha causing a lot of damage as usual. Dust taking a Hurricane Slash. Some more units taking Hurricane Slashes. Fish already halfway dead. Pretty much thanks to Hurricane Slash. Such a good ability it is. So we got Goddess, Fish, Sakya, Dust still up. It's 1 Ice King and... Oh, Slenderman's still up. 1 Wind Warlord. He needed a much better Hurricane Slash than that one. There's no way he wins. Next up, Secret Faction versus Animes. I skipped round 1 because, well, Secret Faction couldn't afford, like, anything at all. Just seemed really irresponsible of me to even have round 1 at that point, because it's not like they're like another faction who can actually get something decent for a super low cost. It looks like the Animes are just kind of taking it to a Secret Faction, though. Like, really badly as well. I mean, Gatling Gun's still up, which is going to pose a pretty significant threat, but other than that, nothing. They actually have nothing left. So, Asada I think, outranges the Gatling Gun. There goes... Okay, yep. And there goes the Gatling Gun. Animes get another dub. TKR versus TF2. Begin. Personally, I don't know who I think's gonna win. I mean, for such a low cost. They do have a Light Mage who's just gonna pretty much... TKR does manage to get a Light Mage in, which is gonna pretty much one-shot almost everything on the screen. Like that. So we're just left to Heavy and Engineer. Or, nope, Soldier too. Soldier's down. No, Light Mage was up the entire time, and that's just not good. These orbs are having a huge issue actually hitting Heavy for whatever reason, but it doesn't matter. TKR wins. Ultimates versus Pop Culture. Ultimates didn't get much for Pop Culture's price of 16,600, but they still have some things that they afforded. Oh, they summoned a pirate captain. That's pretty good. It's not a bad summon. They do have a Wild West ultimate back there to just kind of snipe things, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. No, it's actually definitely not going to be enough because of all the projectile deflection Pop Culture has. The crows are at Farmer Ultimate is their most important one in this matchup. Like, if Farmer Ultimate goes down, then the Ultimates kind of just go down as well, because they don't have anyone to really dish out huge amounts of damage. He's pretty preoccupied with Emperor Palpatine, though, and Palpatine has been killed, unfortunately. So we got Vader, Yoda, and Steven Universe going up against, well, Wild West Ultimate and Farmer Ultimate. I don't know, maybe Wild West Ultimate might be able to kill Yoda over there. Oh, I think Farmer Ultimate is done. Oh, not done just yet. He's got some fight left in him. And it's now just left to Wild West. Game 2, everything is equalized, pretty much. So now they have a lot, the Ultimates have a lot more at their disposal. Like, just a lot more power. Evil Ultimates there, good Ultimates there. And still everyone else is there as well. Viking Ultimate's no pushover, neither is like Legacy Ultimate or anything like that. Spooky Ultimate down, that's not the worst one to lose. Sorry about this view, by the way, I'm doing a thing. So Evil Ultimate is still up, so there's only two Darth Vaders left to try and fight all of the Ultimates that remain. And I really do think this just came down to the fact that, well, good Ultimate existed this time. Next up is going to be SOC versus the Legacy faction. Now, SOC does not have the big bad Fire Lord, but they do still have, well, they still have the Brute, who honestly has been better. Oh, that something just kind of shredded through the tank's HP. That's good. Okay, so now it just comes down to the Super Boxer and how well they can handle the Super Boxer. Oh, it's gonna be very well because, oh, the Chariot's still up. That's pretty surprising. Didn't expect that one to be up. But now, unfortunately, the Super Boxer does not have like a deflect or a dodge or anything, so he's just gonna stand here as, well, Marissa just kind of hits him with Cupid arrows, and they kill him. We don't really need to see that, but at the same time we do, because, I mean, well, he's dead now. Next up, we get to Deltarune versus Undertale Crossover. Begin. Now, this comes down to essentially what's going to be whatever Undertale Crossover has left versus the Giga Queen. As nothing else on Deltarune is even going to pose a threat, in my opinion. They're all just going to go down too easily. We still got a whole Undertale's crossover still has like a whole bunch of units left over in order to fight the Giga Queen. Most importantly, Danielle dealing a 6 of her health is going to be huge. Though there's still Task Manager and Chaos King to deal with. Yeah, I haven't done Snowgrave route. That's right. I'm dead, so not the worst. We still got Rink, Epic Shift, and Danielle. Spamton Normal's still up. He's got quite a pushback, but he's gonna die in like one hit. Just like that. Now it's everyone versus the Chaos King and Giga Queen. Giga Queen's gonna die here like right now. There she goes. I mean, maybe he has a chance, but just not a good one. Oh, especially if the Giga Queen gets another, like, glitched out frickin' rocket rain down. I don't know why that hasn't been fixed. I mean, I get why, because they aren't really updating the game, but abilities need to stop being active after death. Oh, well, it's just Rink versus Chaos King. And Rink beats the Chaos King. We'll get this as game 3. Wait, no, wait, it's supposed to be Spamton Neo, that's right. Spamton Neo was the one not included. So we'll get this squad up against Spamton Neo. And see if, well, if he kills them all, we can, I don't know, go on to a third match. But if he can't, then Undertale Crossover gets a dub. Pretty much comes down to, I mean, is he gonna be able to kill Danielle or no? Because she definitely poses his biggest threat here. It's not gonna be close. I thought Isaac's health was Danielle's health. And she's done it. Good old Hurricane Slash. FNF versus RLS is our next matchup. Blade versus Sarvent's gonna be a big matchup, and whoever Demon Horde Phase 2 decides he wants to go after is also going to be a big matchup. Ugh. We got a lot of love happening over there. Blade's pretty low already, and there is just a lot of units going after Demon Horde. Oh, is Sarvent down? Sarvent is indeed down. Oh, the Senpai was an issue as well. I forgot about old Cupid arrows. Oof. Miscellaneous versus MHA. So, pretty much Satan and All For One are gonna take themselves out of the fight for most of it. So, Melee Master versus, like, All Might's gonna be our biggest matchup for right now. Until, well, those two decide. I mean, we've already seen that 1v1, unfortunately. Satan just is way too strong for All For One to deal with. So, but can Satan actually come over and finish off everyone else? He is only like a third of the way down. Actually, he's probably more like 40% of the way down. There's still some there's still a lot of power left in MHA. He's halfway down. If he gets hit by All Might, could just crumple. And All Might could well, not easily anymore. Miscellaneous gets another dub. And last is going to be Undertale versus Undertale AUs. So, how fast are they gonna kill Frisk? That's one issue that they need to deal with pretty fast. Asriel's already dead. Red's dead, it seems. Kara's down. Undying Dying is left. Mettaton Neo is still up. Undying Dying has to pull a lot of weight while Mettaton Neo just sends birds out. And yeah, she does have a lot of health. Why didn't the Vlad Impale activate for the second wave? That's odd. That's really bad for Undying. Yeah, no, she's done. She is so dead. Just too much to deal with. And down goes Mettaton Neo. For our 1v1, I decided to go with Birdly versus the Earl, as they are very similar. They both have the same weapon, both cost the same. Oh my god, what did Birdly just do? He did like a 1-2 combo. The Earl didn't even get to activate his Enrage, which could have very easily turned the tides of battle. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed, and of course, have a good day.